There are moments in time when heaven presses a reset button, not because people failed, but because seasons have completed their assignment. 2026 stands before us as such a moment. A divine reset is not merely the opportunity to start again, it is the grace to start correctly. Many people survived previous years by strength, endurance, and sheer willpower, but survival was never the goal. Alignment was. When a new season begins, it demands a realignment of purpose, perspective, and priorities. And this is what makes 2026 significant. A reset means that what limited you yesterday is not authorized to define you tomorrow. It means patterns that once seemed permanent are now subject to change. It means mistakes no longer have the final word. A divine reset is heaven's way of announcing that mercy has spoken louder than history. Hope is restored when people realize that time has not run out on them. As long as there is breath, there is relevance. As long as there is awareness, there is assignment. This new season is an invitation to return to original intent. Many drifted, not because they were rebellious, but because they became tired. Weariness has a way of blurring vision. Disappointment can reduce expectations until people begin to settle for less than they were designed for. A new dawn restores sight. It reminds you of who you are beyond your pain, beyond your losses, beyond your unanswered questions. Hope is not denial of reality. It is the confidence that reality can change. A divine reset also confronts complacency. Grace does not excuse laziness, it empowers responsibility. When a season shifts, it is dangerous to carry old mindsets into new opportunities. Some doors remain closed, not because access is denied, but because perception is outdated. 2026 demands renewed thinking. What once worked may no longer be sufficient. Growth requires the courage to unlearn, relearn, and adjust. This reset is deeply personal. It reaches into the heart and asks difficult questions. What truly matters now? What must be released? What must be pursued with renewed intensity? Many are holding on to versions of themselves that were only necessary for survival. But survival seasons end and purpose seasons begin. You cannot step fully into what is ahead while gripping what was meant to keep you alive back then. Hope is restored when people realize that they are not late, they are timely. Heaven does not rush and it does not forget. Everything unfolds according to divine order. When timing aligns, effort becomes effective. Struggle gives way to flow. This is the grace of a reset. 2026 arrives as proof that destiny is patient. It waits until character can sustain what purpose demands. This new dawn is not just about receiving blessings, it is about becoming the kind of person who can steward them. Alignment produces acceleration. When purpose and season meet, progress becomes natural. This is why this year carries hope, not because everything will be easy, but because everything can now be meaningful. When a reset comes, life regains direction, focus returns, strength is renewed, and people rise not as survivors of yesterday, but as aligned vessels for what lies ahead. Every new dawn demands more than celebration. It demands transformation. A change in season without a change in the inner man only produces repeated cycles. This is why a new year can come and go while lives remain the same. 2026 will not respond to wishes alone. It will respond to those who have decided to become different. Inner transformation is the hidden work that gives public victories meaning and longevity. Faith is not passive belief. It is active alignment. To walk into a new season effectively, the heart must be retrained to trust again. Many people learned how to guard themselves after disappointment, but overprotection eventually limits growth. Faith reopens the heart without making it careless. It teaches discernment, not fear. When faith is restored, possibilities return. People stop negotiating with limitation and begin to expect progress. Discipline is the language that serious seasons understand. Transformation requires structure. What you do consistently will eventually speak louder than what you desire passionately. 2026 will reward routines more than resolutions. Small daily decisions will shape large outcomes. Discipline is not punishment, it is self-respect expressed through order. When discipline enters a life, chaos begins to lose authority. Spiritual sensitivity becomes essential in seasons of acceleration. When things move quickly, discernment must be sharp. Not every opportunity is an assignment, and not every open door leads forward. Sensitivity allows you to perceive timing, recognize alignment, and avoid distractions disguised as blessings. A new dawn sharpens perception, so decisions are not merely urgent but wise. Transformation also requires surrender. There are dimensions of growth that cannot be accessed through effort alone. Control must give way to trust. Pride must give way to humility. Many delays are not caused by resistance from outside, but by stiffness within. When the heart softens, instruction flows easily. When humility takes root, learning accelerates. The inner man must be strengthened to sustain outer success. Visibility without capacity leads to collapse. Expansion without depth creates instability. This is why transformation must precede manifestation. A new season exposes weaknesses that old seasons could hide. What was manageable before may now become overwhelming if growth has not occurred internally. Faith, discipline, and sensitivity work together. Faith sets direction. Discipline sustains momentum. Sensitivity preserves accuracy. Remove one, and progress becomes fragile. With all three in place, movement becomes steady and purposeful. 2026 will favor those who have done the quiet work in private before demanding results in public. Inner transformation is not instant, but it is intentional. It begins with awareness and continues with obedience. Every adjustment, no matter how small, compounds over time. The unseen work you do now is building the future you will soon step into. A new dawn is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming who you are meant to be. When transformation takes place within, the year responds without resistance, life aligns, direction becomes clear, and progress becomes a natural expression of inner order. Every season has a language, and 2026 speaks clearly to those who are listening. It is not a year that rewards hesitation or half-hearted commitment. It responds to courage, obedience, and unwavering expectation. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. Many destinies remain dormant, not because ability is lacking, but because boldness was postponed. This year will favor those who decide that fear no longer has veto power over their steps. Courage begins internally before it is seen externally. It is the quiet resolve to try again, to believe again, to stand again. Some battles are not fought on stages. They are fought in private moments where decisions are made without applause. 2026 will amplify what has already been settled in the heart. Those who have decided their values, their direction, and their commitment will find this year cooperating with them. Obedience is the bridge between instruction and manifestation. Many people want outcomes without alignment, but seasons of fulfillment demand accuracy. Obedience may not always feel logical, comfortable, or convenient, but it produces clarity. When a person walks in obedience, confusion begins to fade, resistance reduces, progress becomes smoother because movement is aligned with order. This year will not just test desire, it will test submission. There are instructions that seem small but carry great consequence. Missing them can delay outcomes, while honoring them can unlock acceleration. Obedience preserves momentum. It protects people from unnecessary detours and wasted effort. Those who listen carefully will move efficiently. Expectation is the atmosphere that invites results. What you anticipate shapes how you act. Low expectation produces careless effort. High expectation demands preparation. When expectation is unwavering, focus sharpens and discipline becomes natural. People who expect progress position themselves for it. They plan, they adjust, they prepare room for what they believe is coming. Unwavering expectation does not mean ignoring challenges. It means refusing to let challenges redefine the outcome. This posture sustains endurance. It allows people to keep showing up even when evidence is delayed. Consistency is often the difference between those who witness change and those who only talk about it. 2026 will reward consistency far more than intensity. Courage opens doors. Obedience keeps you on the right path. Expectation determines how far you go. Together, they form a framework for sustainable advancement. Remove one, and progress becomes unstable. Courage without obedience becomes reckless. Obedience without expectation becomes mechanical. Expectation without courage becomes passive. But when all three are aligned, movement becomes powerful and purposeful. This is a year where comfort will compete with calling. The familiar will attempt to keep you stationary, but those who rise above comfort will experience growth that justifies the discomfort. Advancement always requires movement, and movement always demands resolve. 2026 is not waiting for perfection, it is responding to decision. Those who decide to rise will find strength. Those who decide to obey will find clarity. Those who decide to expect will find evidence. This is a year that will reward alignment, honor resolve, and reveal outcomes to those who dare to move forward with conviction.